All right, cool. So, I want to talk about alchemy today and how we are all an alchemist in certain ways. So, alchemy is the interaction of the elements as they interact with our reality. It's a really cool philosophy. I use it daily to navigate my environment. I register with my mind and my observation what the dominant element is in my environment. And then I use my mental agility to harmonize with it or without it, depending on whether or not I want to amp it or quiet it. For example, you walk into a situation and it's very chaotic. There's either an excess of fire or air element, and if I wanted to stay in that environment and attempt to soothe myself, I might call in water or earth to either stabilize the air or cool off the fire. And this kind of metaphor is really useful for quickly changing times, like maybe this one, where all day there's a different reality just constantly arriving. And though this has always low key been true, there's kind of an undeniability to what's happening now. And the power that we all have innately to transmute energy and transform our environment is epic. So, alchemy is something that I feel is a very neutral tool and a way in which to harmonize with our environment, create balance. Because ultimately, our bodies, our minds, our emotions, and our spirits are just seeking harmony. And what we do to create the harmony is where we interact with sort of the ego or the other. Because sometimes we carry a story about why an environment is a certain way or why my personality is a certain way. And we interact with reasoning. So, reasoning has a bias. Alchemy is very neutral. It's almost literal in an imaginary sense. We can sense it with our body, and that's our true superpower, to be able to sense something before we see it, hear it, feel it, touch it, or taste it. We have that other sense, proprioception, that gauges how far away we are from something. So, knowing that everything is also a reflection of what's inside of us, using alchemy in this way is really helpful for me. And so I wanted to focus on that in the beginning today. We are in Cancer season, and that's a high water element. So there's naturally going to be a lot of flow, or maybe there's a lot of waves. Maybe there's an excess of emotion. Um, and the way that seafarers are trained, the ocean is so unpredictable. So water is also the most unpredictable element, and it conducts electricity. So we are made of electricity, we're circuitry. And working with water in this way makes it really interesting because we can essentially project our energy farther when we're in a season of water. Um, yeah, so we'll play with it today. Let's start out in child's pose. And so we'll take our knees wide, draw your big toes together towards touching, and then sit back on your heels. Start to reach your arms forward so you can walk them forward. And then eventually your forehead is going to land. And start by noticing how gravity is affecting your body, where there's the earth element available. And calling in the water and the willingness to be here. Fall into the flow of how you feel. And then you've got your air with every breath that you take in, every breath that you let out. Fire could be present in your motivation to attend, that inner momentum. that wants to participate in something bigger than oneself. As you're here in the beginning, start by noticing which element is most dominant. If there's a lot of fatigue or heaviness, that would be an excess of earth. Or if there's a lot of excitement, that would be a high vibration with fire or air. Stubbornness is a lack of water, or insistence is a lack of water. And start to navigate how you feel today and overlay it with an element. We'll use that element in the back of our mind today as we practice. We'll practice in a way that either ignites that or soothes that. And seeing if you can match your intention to your interaction with the element. Taking a few breaths here to choose an intention alongside the sensation that you have right now, for now. You have sole ownership of your vision. And so, what would you like to see today? You start to rock the forehead from side to side, waking up the hands by tapping the fingers. Next time that you breathe in, just start to pull your body up to a tabletop position. You use your fingertips. Palms will be underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath your hip creases. Start to tuck your toes under to a really stable base here. Turn the elbows forward. And then when you exhale, round over towards cat pose. Let your head go heavy. When you breathe in, let the belly soften. Start to open the chest. Look upwards. Cow pose. Tracing your exhale, when you breathe out, round over, arch your spine, press into the hands and the knees. And as you breathe in, opening back up, cow pose, lift the gaze. Tracing your breath, cat pose, cow pose. Noticing if there are any spaces in your body that feel caught or stuck. You might turn on some barrel rolls, or maybe moving side to side, keeping in time with your breath. Just opening up to the experiment of being here now. We'll take 3 more full rounds. Your breath. Whenever you finish your 3rd round, and coming back into a tabletop, keeping the right toes tucked under, and take your left leg backward. So you got your left leg in line with your hip. Start to reach your right arm forward. Attempt to maintain this buoyancy in the middle of your body by reaching the hand and the foot with equal pressure, backwards and forwards. One more full breath here. And then start to set your hand down, set your knee down. One round of cat-cow, whatever breath you're on. Returning to your tabletop and keeping your left toes tucked under. Start to take your right leg back behind you. So your right leg's in line with your hip. And then your left arm is going to start to come forward. And same thing with that buoyancy in the middle part of your body. Reaching equally backwards and forwards. One more full breath. And then you start to set it down. One more round of cat-cow, whatever breath you're on. And coming back into a tabletop. Retuck the toes if they escaped you. And then downward facing dog. Exhale. Lift your knees and keep your elbows facing mostly forward. Attempting to have equal gravity in the hands and the feet. So if all the weight is in your hands, you might want to bend your knees. Imagining that you are hanging from a swing. So the pelvis is lifting more than the hands are pressing. Solid exhales. You might pedal the knees or the feet. And from here, with your next breath in, take the right leg as high as you can get it, all the way up. And then scorpion your leg, bend your knee, exhale. Breathe in, right heel high, and then downward facing dog, exhale. One full round of breath. And then you take your left leg up, all the way up and back. As high as you can, and then you scorpion with the exhale, bend the knee, send the heel towards the hip. Breathe in, left leg high, and then downward facing dog, exhale. Full breath. You start to walk your hands back towards your feet, landing in a forward fold at the back of your space. Let your head go. Let the body sway side to side. So you might interlace the elbows, or you could drag your fingers. And coming back to center here. Release the bind if you have one. Take a halfway lift with your breath in. Hands can come up to the shins. Just holding your halfway lift, noticing level in the hamstring. Mine are on level 11 today. And then when you exhale, fold forward. We'll do a couple. Breathe in, halfway lift, low belly draws upward. And then exhale, fold it forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. One more, halfway lift. Hold it here. and then fold with your exhale. Slow roll all the way up to standing. Pressing into the feet. Your chin is going to come up very, very last. Try to move slowly. If you beat me to the top, no worries. Eventually, chin's going to be level. The shoulders will roll back and down. And then lift the arms, mountain pose, arms high. Elbows by the ears. Noticing if that jutted you forward. We want to feel evenness. Hips above the heels. Shoulders above the hips. Reach up with your breath in. And then hands at the heart with your exhalation. Breathe in, arms rise, reach up. And then fold forward, slow fold, bend the knees, exhale. There's halfway lift, full breath in. And then fold with your exhale. Press into the feet. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. Arms will rise, mountain. And then hands at the heart when you exhale. Breathe in, arms reach. And then slow fold, bend the knees. And there's halfway lift, your breath in. And then fold, exhale. Last one, rolling all the way up to standing. Arms will rise when the chin is level. Hands at the heart, exhale. Breathe in, reaching. And then fold it forward, exhale. There's halfway lift, breathe in. Fold with your exhale. Let your head go. Bend the knees as much as you want to. You can interlace the elbows. And from here, unbind. And take a halfway lift to look forward. Walk your hands to downward facing dog, all the way back. Just noticing any change in sensation, or if there's a different element that's dominant. The next time that you breathe in, take your right leg high, and then scorpion your leg with your exhale. Breathe in, right leg rises, and take a low lunge with your exhale. You sweep your right foot forward, with in between your hands, and then lower your left knee. Keep the left toes tucked under, Anjane. Start to reach up. You could have your hands on your knee if that feels more stable, or you can take your arms high. And from here, when you exhale, left arm back, right arm forward, turn open, and then come back up to center. When you exhale, right arm back, left arm forward. Breathe in to reach up, and then land your hands, exhale. Lift up your left knee, look forward, and then fold forward, exhale. There's halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, exhale. Rolling all the way up to standing, mountain pose. And then hands at the heart, exhale. Breathe in, reach the arms. Slow fold, bend the knees. And there's a halfway lift, breath in. And then high plank pose with your exhale. top of a push-up shape. You can come down to one knee or both knees if you want to. One more breath. And then downward facing exhale. Finding a few exhales. Letting the knees bend as much as they want to. And keeping a gentleness in the hands. You're ready for a breath in. You take the left leg high, reach it up and back. And then scorpion your leg, exhale. Breathe in, left leg high. And then sweep it through for your low lunge. Landing your left foot in between the hands. Start to lower your right knee. And coming up for Anjane, arms are high. On this side, you might decide hands on the knee. Definitely tuck your right toes. Maintain that reaching through the hands so that your pelvis feels supported. It feels like it's zipped up. Your next exhale, take your right arm back and your left arm forward. And then reach up with your breath in. Come back to center. And then left arm forward, right arm back. Yeah. Reach up, breathing in. Land your hands with your exhale. Lift your right knee and start to look forward. And then folding forward, 2 feet together. There's a halfway lift, breathe in. Folding, exhale. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. Arms will rise, mountain. The hands at the heart, exhale. Breath in, reach up. And then fold with your exhale. And there's a halfway lift, inhalation. And then high plank pose with your exhale. Holding your high plank shape. And then downward facing dog, exhale. A few exhales. The next time you breathe in, take your right leg high. And then exhale, scorpion leg. Breathe in, right leg reaches back. And take a low lunge with your exhale. High lunge this time. Breathe in. So the left knee is lifted. Right knee is very bent. You're on the ball of your left foot and there's still that reaching from the sides of your body through the fingers. And from here, left arm back, right arm forward, open. And then back to center. Right arm back, left arm forward. And coming back to center, breathe in. Low lunge with your exhale. Look forward, inhale. And then fold forward with your exhale. There's a halfway lift, breathe in. Folding, exhalation. Rolling all the way up to standing mountain pose. Hands at the heart, exhale. Breathe in, reach it up. And fold it forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhalation. And high plank pose with your exhalation. Holding your high plank pose. And then downward facing dog. Take the hips high. When you breathe in, left leg rises. And then scorpion leg with the exhale. Breathe in, left leg high. And sweep it through, low lunge. And from here, high lunge. Sweep the arms up. And keeping a very dynamic bend in your left knee. You're on the ball of your right foot. You can feel this evenness at the sides of the chest that's reaching through the fingertips. And when you exhale, right arm back, left arm forward. And then breathe in, back to center. And exhale, left arm back, right arm forward. And coming back to center, inhale. Low lunge with your exhale. Breathe in to look forward. And then 2 feet together, fold it forward. And there's halfway lift. And fold. Roll yourself all the way up to standing, mountain pose. And then hands at the heart, exhale. Breathe in, reach it up. And then slow fold all the way down, exhale. There's halfway lift. And then high plank shape. Holding high plank. And downward facing as your next exhale. Full exhales. And from here, when you breathe in, take your right leg up. And then scorpion, exhale. Right leg high, breathe in. And you've got a low lunge with your exhale. And coming up to high lunge, breathe in. And take the left arm back, right arm forward, and then turn it into warrior 2. So you ground your back foot, right knee is very bent. And take your eye gaze over your right fingertips. And commit to the bend in the right side knee and opening through the chest. So you're reaching through the fingertips. And from here, inhalation is reverse warrior. Take your right arm high, left arm down, breathing in. Settling into your breath here. And the next time you exhale, right elbow to the right knee. Take your left arm up and over, extended side angle. Leaning on your knee, but trying not to collapse into your knee. Still keeping that chest open. Settling into your breath. The next breath in, pyramid pose or star pose. Feet come forward, arms come wide. Palms will touch at the top. And then a slow, wide-legged fold, exhale. letting there be breath that goes past your chest and grounding into both feet evenly. And from here, ground your fingertips, find a halfway lift, and then turning to the left, low lunge, exhale. Left knee is bent, plant the hands, find your high plank shape, and then downward facing dog with your exhale. Big exhales. When you breathe in, take your left leg all the way up and back. And then scorpion leg, exhale. Left leg high, breathe in. And sweep it through for a low lunge. And from your low lunge, sweep up for high lunge. And commit to the bend in the left knee. And start to take your right arm back and your left arm forward, turning it into warrior two on this side. Left knee is bent. There's gaze shift to the left fingertips. And there's reaching like you're pulling across the chest. The next time that you breathe in, reverse warrior, left arm rises, right arm lowers. And feel this opening across your left side chest. And settle into your breath. And then when you exhale, left elbow towards the left knee, right arm up and over. Extended side angle. The next time you breathe in, start to push into your feet. Star pose, arms are open, turn the toes in, and then connect the hands. Wide-legged fold, exhale. And finding halfway lift, hands on the earth or maybe the fingertips, and then turning to the right, low lunge. Right knee is bent. Start to plant your hands, taking high plank, holding your high plank, and then coming to downward facing dog. One breath here. And then child's pose with your exhale. Take your knees down, connect your feet, and then reach your hands forward, forehead leans. Noticing full breath. Noticing the dominant element and whether or not it's different. One more full breath. And then start to return up to a downward facing dog. We'll put it all together. All our elements. And from your downward facing right leg rises. And then scorpion leg, exhale. Right leg high, breathe in. You take a low lunge with your exhale. High lunge, sweep it up. Left arm back to warrior two. Breathe in, reverse warrior. And then exhale for extended side angle. And coming up to star pose, inhale. Folding, exhale. And there's halfway lift, breathe in. Left knee bends, low lunge, exhale. High plank pose, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left leg high, inhalation. Scorpion leg, exhalation. Breath in, right leg high. And then low lunge, exhale. High lunge, sweep it up. Right arm back, left arm forward, warrior two. Reverse warrior, inhale. And then extended side angle, exhale. Star pose, breathe in. Folding, exhalation. Halfway lift, inhale. Right knee bends, exhale. High plank. Downward facing. 3 times with the exhale. You finish your third exhale. And start to walk the hands and the feet to the middle of your mat. From the middle, you take a halfway lift. And then come to seated all the way down. And taking the feet together and the knees wide. Organize yourself so you can feel your bones. And then take the arms high, breathe in. Folding over with your exhale, reaching forward the whole time. Eventually, the head goes heavy, the palms are upward facing. Doesn't matter how far forward you go, just that there's curvature around the shoulders. So you could be here, or you could be all the way down. Letting the weight of your head lengthen your neck. And if your head feels too heavy, you can bend your elbows and hold your head with your hands. Letting your breath be where it is. And taking your attention onto your breath. Noticing this air element. Every breath has its own lifetime. And take 3 cycles of breath to roll yourself up to seated. So super slow motion. A breath and pause. A breath and pause. And your third one to come all the way up eventually. Taking the left knee in and the right leg long. So sometimes I'll turn myself a little. It's gonna reach towards your right foot, 2 peace fingers, your right big toe. If you can't reach your toes, you can bend your knees, elbows on the inside of the knee. And then we're just gonna come over or forward, either way. Breathing into that part on your low back that's stretching. Want to fill that part with your breath. And we'll start to roll ourselves back up, slow motion. And then we'll take our left leg forward and the right knee in. Reaching towards your left toes with your 2 peace fingers. You can bend the knee. If you can't reach it, just have the elbow on the inseam. And then you can choose to come up and over, or you can choose to turn forward, either way. You just want stretching on your right side, kidney, hip, psoas area. two sides are allowed to be super different. You could do a whole different thing on one side. And we'll start to roll ourselves back up, slow motion, and then take the knees into the chest. You can walk yourself a little forward. Let's grab onto the knees, tuck your chin. Breathing into the compression. Try to fill your breath as much as you can. Sometimes it feels like it's a little shaky. That's normal, that's okay. One more full breath. And then take your knees with you all the way onto your back. Whoa. More graceful than that, though. Take a hold of your knees. Roll around on your low back for a moment. And then you can start to take your legs straight up above you. You can bend your knees. Legs up the wall without the wall. You might opt in for paddling one knee and then the other if you don't want to keep them straight up. You can also take your hands by your sides or up above. And one more full breath. Maybe roll the ankles. And then take the knees back into the chest. Knees will come over to the left. And then the gaze to the right, supine twist. And take your knees back into your chest. And then the other side. Knees over to the right. Gaze to the left. You start to take your knees up into your chest, and choosing if there's one more shape that you want to take before Shavasana. If you feel complete, you start to unfold, finding your Shavasana shape, legs long, arms wide, maybe a cactus arm today. You can also come up to a seat for meditation. Either way. Choosing what suits you. Wherever you go, you're letting your whole body land. Gravity wins. No arguing with gravity. The eyes are going to close. When your eyes close, notice your whole body and ask your whole body to soften. Embrace the feeling of the earth meeting you and you meeting the earth. Invite your breath all the way down towards your pelvis. You feel your low belly expanding as you're breathing. Remembering what it was that you wanted to see today. Knowing that what we look for, we find. And so you set your inner gaze. What would I like to see today? Creating a reality and breathing in that space of potential energy. This place where anything is possible and everything is happening. Anything is possible. Everything is happening. You could stay here meditating, or if you're ready to continue today, you can start to rub the thumbs along the fingers, waking up the hands. You might roll the forehead from side to side, or tip the chin up and down. And starting to make your way up to a seat, whatever way that's your favorite today. Eventually, in the seated position, you take your hands to the heart center, where you might stack the palms against each other. And then bringing your awareness or your thumbs to your third eye, space between the brows. In gratitude to you and your practice, I bow forward. I offer Sat Nam. It's always a pleasure to practice with you. This Thursday, the 16th, I have an online class on alchemy. If you're curious about navigating alchemy, it's on my website, or you can email me to moonbeamdaydream.com. And I'm Freedom. I always forget to say my name. So you can find me there, Freedom at moonbeamdaydream.com, or just peep the website. Yeah, next Thursday at 6 p.m. Otherwise, I'll see you next Thursday at 10 a.m. And I love you. Kings and queens.
I invited Kat.
Queen.